Hi you guys, welcome back to another first impression pattern review. It is almost summer, and so we've got the big five releasing all of their summer patterns. Today we're going to be taking a look at every single sewing pattern that was released in the MCCALL'S summer collection. We're going to look at all of them and discuss kind of the overall design. Why are they showing me Nomi? We don't want Nomi, we want MCCALL'S. Okay, and then let's also go to paper. Okay, so beyond that, we also have this. Oh gosh, we're back to the unisex pants in two lengths. I have thoughts about unisex pants because females and males are not built the same in the areas where pants cover. So I'm not entirely sure how you could just swap out. It's like the women's quote unquote women's version is going to have too much room down there, or the quote unquote men's version is going to have not enough room down there. So I don't know. But then again, they sell pajama pants for like families and you just get one version. So it seems weird. It's maybe, I don't know. Let's look at the pictures. We have all the sizes in one, extra small to 2X, loose fit, that's going to help. Patterns in floor and ankle length have waistband with elastic at the back only, and a button closure and a fly front zipper. Okay, so you have the full regular waistbanded front and elastic backs. Do guys wear elastic back pants? I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen full elastic all the way around, but I'm not sure I've ever seen a guy with a flat front. Okay, so we do have the pleats, which is giving a lot of room here. Hands in pockets, so it's hard to tell what's going on. If you haven't watched one of these before, or you haven't heard me go off about hands in pockets, I get it's a cute, what's it called, pose. I get that he probably doesn't know what to do with his hands, but hands in pockets does not help us see how the garment fits. So I get really annoyed by hands in pockets pictures. On face value, the design is really cute. It looks like a very well tailored pleated front trouser, right? And then in the back, yeah, the fit's not terrible. You can tell that there's a lot of extra fabric here, maybe than what we're used to. I think the biggest thing that's standing out to me is how this is scooping down. It could be the stripes on her shirt are playing tricks on my eyes, but obviously we would want to increase the rise here if this is drooping down like that. Not a terrible hard alteration to make. Here's the men's version. That I feel like it's the wrong fabric. Yeah, I think they used some kind of twill or something. It's not really made for like the scrunching of an elastic band. Not the best look. These folds are just not. The front looks great. I'm not so sure about the back. This like stovepipe leg on a man with an espadrille, golly, I don't know. Like I said, I like it okay from the front. It doesn't look nearly as... The leg looks a lot wider here. I don't know. They're kind of just okay. Maybe it's one of those things that will be better once we get our hands on it, and do our own styling and just, yeah, because, oops, this leg here this doesn't look the same, right? They like took away a lot of the width, and so that's kind of throwing me off. And then, just the fabrication here, yeah, I'm already a little bit biased because I don't like unisex pants patterns. This one didn't really help convince me, unfortunately. We've got batiks, gosh, this is small, broadcloth, chambray, cotton blends, linen blends. Yeah, I think the lighter weight drapier you go, the better that waistband is going to look in the back. It won't look as tailored and polished in the front, but I think it'll still look really clean and neat. I'm also not entirely sure what's the point of this little extra piece. Like, just so is it decorative? Is it not? I don't really get it. So we need elastic and a zipper and a button. So yeah, if you are looking to perfect your pants fitting, this idea of this pattern is really good for that, because you'll learn how to do a button fly, and you'll do a front waistband, but it doesn't have to be perfect on fit because the elastic does a lot of work for you. But you'll get that front waistband down pretty good. Okay, so yeah, not a ton of fabric, 2 yards, 3 for the pants B because they're longer. And then they're giving us the hip measurement, very, very generous, 3.5 inches. That seems fine. Not as roomy as I thought, but at the actual hip line, yeah, maybe there is only 3 inches. This looks to be like a little bit more like 5, but anywhere in there, I think you'll be fine in terms of ease in your pants. Okay. Now, we've got a Mrs. dress with sleeve and length variations. Sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. This is the largest of their Mrs. sizes. Right? There's not a 28, no. So they're on the higher end of their Mrs. size range. Empire waist dress has ties at the neckline, tiered skirt with gathers. What is this? That's new. They don't normally hyperlink to things. Oh, it goes to a tutorial from Brittany, sewing 2 rows of gathers. Here you will learn a technique. Huh. It's like a little mini tutorial built in. Interesting. Very interesting, because if you get the paper pattern, are you going to come back here to see that? And when you download the PDF, I've never done it with the Big 5, but when you download the PDF, you're not getting some kind of booklet with links, are you? It's just like the regular instructions. You just download them on, like, this is like copy paste. There's nothing extra, right? Interesting that they're putting it in the listing. I guess you might come back. I don't know if you remember. I don't know. So gathers and length variations. View A and B have short puff sleeves and elasticized cuffs. View C dress has spaghetti straps. Okay, so I like whenever the variations actually look different. Like from A to B, not that different. It's just longer. You know what I mean? But C is actually quite different. And I think that if you wore A and C back to back, like days, people wouldn't maybe necessarily know it was the same pattern. This one is super cute. The gathers and elastic and like ruffly things are everywhere. They really never went away, but they're ever present still. I do like this little underbust seam. This little midriff piece, I guess, is probably what they're going to call it. The elastic here that goes into the shoulder is really cute. The elastic that gives this little puff sleeve, super sweet. And then all of these gathers. Now, gathers are not the most fun thing to sew. Not for me anyways. So I'm looking at this with a little bit of like, is it really worth it? You know what I mean? It's a little milkmaid, right, with the neckline, but I don't know. It's kind of really fun, flirty. It is a full skirt. They are not skimping on the width of these, gathers here. The back has a square neckline, so the elastic continues to come down. And then you have almost this like princess seam, invisible zipper situation. You could easily turn this into shirred panel, and then you could just pull it on over your head and not even have to worry about the zipper at all. Yeah, some pretty cute options there. So cotton blends, gingham, poplin, and sateen. The one she's wearing, it's definitely giving like a little bit more structure. You can tell because the skirt is really falling, like standing away from her body. I would be shocked if this weren't a sateen or some kind of like, you know, heavier side of a lightweight cotton situation. Possibly poplin, possibly a shirting, but I'm going to bet it's sateen. All of these options are great. You could obviously easily go into lighter weight fabrics. So think about chalets and things. Just know that all of the like poof from the sleeve and the poof from the skirt will go away, and all of that will fall in closer to your body. Okay, so you'll just need, notions wise, an invisible zipper, a little ribbon to make the bow, some elastic, I think, for the sleeve, another thing of elastic, and single fold bias tape. So not a super expensive list of notions. Fabric wise, how much do we need? Yeah, we're pushing 3.5 for the short one with sleeves, 5 for the longer one with sleeves, and then 4 for the sleeveless one. I have my suspicions about why these numbers are so high. I recently made a gathered skirt pattern. I'm going to make a whole video about the fabric layouts and why they are not wrong, but they're inefficient in terms of cost and fabric waste. But anyways, these are, you don't, gosh, I don't know how to say this. I would recommend you get the pattern before you get your fabric, lay out the pattern pieces, and then see how much you really need. You don't necessarily have to make your gathered tiers as wide. You know what I mean? Just wait for the other video. I'll tell you all about it. Okay. And so we're not going to get any finished garment measurements, which is unfortunate because that bust line does feel pretty relevant. So I wish that they would have given us that. So we have this Mrs. top and skirt, 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 again. These little sets like this are so popular. It reminds me a lot of, do you guys know who Paige DeSorbo is? She's like really having a moment right now, but she's from reality TV, but she also has a really super popular podcast, and they just wrote a book, and she has a tour. Like, she's just everywhere right now. This definitely feels like something she would wear. Fitted, unlined, sewing pattern, unlined. Okay. Has princess seams, bias neck, and armhole facings. Fitted A-line skirt sits 1 inch below the waist. Has side, front, and back seams. Length variations. Okay. So unlined, this one's clearly like a denim or chambray or something. This also kind of looks like a white denim or maybe some kind of twill. So we're not using a tweed. So that makes sense that you wouldn't line it. And obviously for summer, maybe unlined is a better option. They're saying this is 1 inch below her natural waist. That's not correct. This skirt is way too big for her. Her natural waist, you can see, it's right here and right here. It's where your body folds in on itself. So 1 inch below that would be above her hip bones. Well, I imagine her hip bones are around here somewhere, but it would sit up here, right? This skirt is just falling off of her. So yeah, it's way too big. There is, I guess it's the same version, just, oh, the skirt is the opposite. What am I saying? The skirt is the alternate version. This is like a longer version of it. Still really cute, I bet. I do kind of love sets like this because even though we're only getting technically three patterns, the back looks okay. The back looks really good, I guess. It might be a little roomy through here, but I think it's fine. So technically we're only getting 1, 2, 3 patterns, but you can wear them multiple ways. So you can wear them together. You can wear the top with separate pants. You can wear the skirt with a separate top. And so you get multiple outfits from just the top and skirt. You know what I mean? Okay, so here they're recommending boucle. I already was like, oh yay, no boucle. That's why it's not lined. I would never make a boucle unlined garment. It's just too loosely woven over time. Like, it's just not gonna hold up. That said, you could line either one of these. It's not super hard. Just doesn't come with the instructions. But then we have denim. That makes sense. Linen blends also makes sense. Sateen, twill, for sure. These fabrics for a summer collection are a little bit heavier weight than what I was expecting. This feels a little bit more like fall. So it's interesting, but this style does lend itself to something pretty structured and a little bit weighty. So I guess it's just the styles that are dictating the fabrication, not really the season. All you need are a whole bunch of buttons. How many? Seven or eight buttons. Actually, not as much as I thought. And then the top is that 1/4 or 3/4? Yeah, top is kind of a 1-yard wonder. And then so is the skirt. So pretty affordable fabric wise. Buttons can get kind of expensive, especially if you get the decorative ones. So having a whole set that you can make out of 2 yards of fabric, that seems to, even itself out with the cost of the buttons. Okay, so here's finished garment measurements. Yay, thank you so much. So we get the bust and waist of the top and the hip of the skirt. No waist of the skirt, which is a bummer. The bust is going to have 3.5 inches of ease. That makes sense. I don't care about the waist of the top. And then the hip of the skirt is going to have 4 inches. No, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 inches of ease in the hip. That's probably why it's so big on her. Because the hip is already pretty big for something that's supposed to be pretty fitted, and I imagine that the waist of that doesn't curve in as much as you might think. So if the waist has 4 inches of ease, then the waistband probably has 2 or 3 inches of ease, and that's what causes it to be too big. It looks really good from the back in terms of fit at the hip line. So I think it does fit her here. It's just kind of oversized in a way, and it doesn't need to be. So you'll either need to add darts or take a bigger wedge out of these princess seams and make a smaller waistband compared to whatever size you do for the hip. Especially if you're using something like sateen that has a little bit of stretch in it, like a stretch twill, stretch denim, you definitely don't need 4 inches of ease in the hip. Okay, look at this number. My gosh, Mrs. Dress in 2 lengths, 8 to 16 and 18 to 26 again. Lined, fitted, bias cut dress pattern. Wow. Has spaghetti straps, low back, bow detail, invisible side seam zipper. View B and C have high-low hem. View B has contrast. I'm honestly kind of shocked to see this as part of a MCCALL'S pattern. It feels maybe more elevated than I would picture for the MCCALL'S brand, but it is very beautiful. I love it. I already love bias cut dresses. I say this every time it comes up, even if it's form-fitting like this is, and you think, oh my god, I can't wear anything that clingy. The way that bias cut fabric lays on your body's natural curves is like magic. I don't know exactly how it does it, but on any person you put a bias cut dress on, their body just looks like the curves are accentuated in the most perfect way. If you don't have curves, then it creates curves for you. I don't know. Bias cut dresses are just a dream. I love them so much. This one has kind of like lingerie details, right? I mean, these cups feel very lingerie-esque. This very teeny tiny strap. Is it the French word is rollo? Oh god, never mind. I cannot believe I even tried to say that out loud. Oh, and then a nod to the 80s kinda with this little floppy bow that you've got right here. I don't personally love the asymmetry. I think that takes it a little too far back into the 80s. I prefer this version. I also really want you to think about it maybe not in a fabric that's so dressy. Imagine it if it weren't, I guess this is like a crepe back satin. So it's the same fabric and they reverse what is the right side, what is the wrong side as we go down. But imagine it in like an all over floral print. Imagine this one in an all over floral print. Some kind of rayon challis, rayon poplin, something like that. Just imagine it in all one color, one shade, not shiny. And it feels a lot more approachable, right? Especially if you put on like a jean jacket, you could really dress this down. I would, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know my like gauge for like, is this going to fit into my lifestyle? Is would I wear this to Target? And no, I would not wear this version with this high-low hem, but I would definitely wear the yellow version. Oh my God, look at the back. The back is beautiful. I would definitely wear the yellow version to Target for sure with some kind of vest or jean jacket or something, some layer over top, maybe a layer underneath. Think about it with like a little lace top underneath, also really beautiful. So I know this seems like, where would I ever wear this? Or I don't have anywhere to go in this, but I think if you think about the fabrication differently and think about how you would style it, you would actually probably wear this more than you realize. Okay, so are all three backs like that? Oh my gosh. This one, I think I'm going to put this one in my cart. I have so many like little rayon fabrics and I'm just over like, I don't know what I used to make. I don't know. I like this one. And I think I could use fabric from my stash for it. Charmeuse, crepe back satin, like I said, crepe de chine. So they are recommending like, you know, fancier fabrics. While we're on the topic of fancy fabrics, if you made this to wear to one of your bridal events, I mean, that would be a knockout. It would be a stunner. Even kind of like a wedding dress, it would be not inappropriate, depending on, you know, the vibe for your wedding. But yeah, it would be beautiful in bridal as well. Okay, so, but I also wanted to say about fabrics, also, think about all the silkies, think about all the lightweight drapey fabrics, and not limiting yourself to these, like, dressier ones. Some portion of it is lined. I imagine it's just the bodice, I would guess. All you need is one zipper, okay? So the notion's cost is really low. So you can spend a little bit more on the fabric if you need to, because you're going to need actually not that much. 2 yards for A. And then if you're going to do the high-low hem, 2.5, is that what that says? 2.5 for this version and 2.25 for this version. That's kind of wild to me. That's super wild to me. If you're going to try and color block, if you do crepe back satin, you don't have to do them alternating like this. You buy one cut of yardage and then you just alternate right side, wrong side. But if you wanted to color block or do something special, they do have that laid out for you. 1.25 yards for the main fabric and then 2 3/8 for the contrast. That is more than these entire dresses. How is that possible? I don't know what happened. Something feels wrong about these numbers. Darn, that's too bad. Anyways, the finished bust measurement is 1 inch of ease in the bust, so that makes perfect sense. Wow, she is still really cute though. Really fun to wear, very slinky, very like perfect for the summer. I don't know. Yeah. I think I'm going to choose my paper format. I'm going to choose my size and we're going to add to bag. There we go. Okay, next up on this little tour, we have, oh no, oh no, Laura Ashley wedding gown. I did not imagine that ever being a thing. Those are two vibes I'd never would think would cross, but seeing it now, it kind of makes perfect sense. We have one size range, a 6 to 16. So that's almost not even worth looking at. Like, we're so beyond size inclusivity now that whatever. We'll quickly flip through the pictures and mostly make fun of it. Okay. Gown, slip, sash sewing pattern, back zippered gown bodice, or has bodice with shaped stand-up collar, full gathered skirt, longer elbow length sleeves, gathered at cap and button to cuffs. Gown has tucks on bodice front, skirt, sleeves, cuffs, lace trim, and armhole ruffles. Fabric may be cut away under the lace. Self-fabric sash is trimmed with lace. Back zippered slip has fitted bodice with shoulder straps and gathered skirt with edging at trim. Wow. So like a Victorian type of gown. Maybe it's not even a wedding gown. It's just white, so it made me think it's a wedding gown. Still, where are you wearing this? You're not wearing that to Target. It almost even looks more like one of the Renaissance costume patterns than an actual one. But yeah, you'll get lots of practice at pin tucking, and you'll spend a small fortune to make this, because look at this notions list. My gosh. All right. Next, we have. Are you kidding me? This is one Laura Ashley. This is the next Laura Ashley. Okay. At least this one seems a little bit more in this, century. 6 to 14, 16 to 24 on the size range. Okay. Smack dab in the middle. They don't have the smallest, but they don't have the largest either. This is high waist, back zipper dress, neck ruffle with ribbon trim, tie belt included. In front darts. Okay, short sleeves gathered into bands, have gathered cap. View A with trimming has ruffles sewn to skirt. View B and C have ruffles sewn to lower skirt. Okay. It is ruffly. Very, very ruffly. It is very Laura Ashley. It is, if you think about it in the right way, oh gosh, Farm Rio, potentially, maybe if you ditched this one. You know, I don't hate it. These are the ties that wrap around the back so they don't go around your entire bust. That said, I do wish that they started lower. That feels like you got a sash wrapped around the lower part of your boob, which is strange. I really don't hate the ruffles. Yeah, I just, it's cute. It's sweet. I don't think you would look, out of place if you wore it. This one with the purple one with the ruffle on the bottom feels a little nightgown. Yeah, I mean, this is the pose that you use when you're wearing this dress. You're like, oh, so demure, like, oh, I'm so sweet. I'm so innocent. This is my Laura Ashley ruffle dress. You have a high-pitched voice like that too. You know what I mean? Okay, here's the back. Yeah, it's just a lot of ruffles, a lot of lace trim, a lot of puffiness. And it's also white. And white and ruffles together just... It's either giving you like christening gown, it's giving you wedding gown, it's white and ruffles. It has too many of these like very visual events for you to just wear that anywhere. But maybe if you made it out of I always try and put things in denim to help see if I could wear it somewhere, if I could wear it like in a different color, or if it is in a different fabric, would it feel less weird? Like this in a rayon challis maybe that had floral all over it. Maybe this one in a chambray wouldn't be terrible. Yeah, it's probably also just not my style anymore, but I can see some people down here in the South really getting behind that. Cotton blends, eyelet, lightweight cotton, synthetic crepe, and voile. For sure. The notions list is a zipper, hook and eye, and ribbon. 7/8 of a yard of ribbon. What is that for? Also some kind of trimming for the collar thing on A. What is this suppressed fit versus standard fit? What is suppressed fit? Never heard of that. It's 2 inches smaller. Okay. So even though they're offering sizes 6 to 24, they really are kind of offering a size 4 as well. Well, no. They're actually offering a size 26. It goes the other way because this is 1 inch of ease in the bust, which makes sense for this dress. If you made this one as a size 6, you would have 3 inches of ease, which is a lot for this design. But if you were a 26, it would go up to 49, 50, 51, 52 inches. Wait, that's not true. Do you get what I'm saying, though? I'm so bad at math, but do you see how this is almost like a size up? So this might be... Okay, here's what I'm saying. If there was a 26, this 49 would be right here. That's what I'm saying. So you do kind of get an extra size on the higher end if you use the standard fit and treat it as if it were a suppressed fit. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's very on brand for Laura Ashley. I'm not sure that it's on brand for me. Okay, menswear. We have top, shorts, and pants, all sizing in 1. Isn't that so nice, guys? Nice for the guys, right? Small through 2X. Men's fashion top sewing pattern is button front opening, raglan short sleeves, collar, and hemband. Pull-on shorts and pants have front ties, elastic waist, side pockets, contrast. Okay, it's another men's collared shirt. Maybe this one's different because it has a raglan, but it's... And we've seen these over and over again, and then we get another pull-on pant for the guys. So this is starting to feel a little bit repetitive. Maybe not for MCCALL'S, but across the entire Big Five. I know that Norris has made something like this. I know that the men of Nomi have made something like this. So what are we... This is not design. This is just feels like a repeat. It doesn't feel like anything new at all. That said, I think if you change the length of things a little bit, it could be cute for a girl too. In stretch knits only. Okay, maybe that is what makes it different. Still though, it's so oversized you could make it out of a woven. Double knit ponte, sweatshirt ponte? I would never make a set like this out of ponte. Sweatshirt fleece for sure. Double knit, absolutely. Terry cloth for sure. Terry knit also. We still don't have the stretch gauge on the internet, so you have to buy the pattern and then figure it out whenever the pattern comes. Can't order your fabric yet. 5 buttons, elastic, yada yada yada, and no finished garment measurements. All right, guys, I had higher hopes for you for that one, but so sorry. We're skipping plushies, obviously. Okay, here's a variation on a men's collared shirt. I'm not sure it's a good one, but it's a variation nonetheless. We actually have an extra size, so it's small to 3X. Classic polo top sewing pattern, has V-shaped neckline, collar, front chest pocket, comes in short or long sleeves. So this is the difference. That's not a classic polo. A classic polo comes up like this and has like a little Henley. This is a very unclassic polo. The stripes are dizzying, so I can't look at that very much. This version feels good, like in the contrast. Like if you contrast the collar, that feels better. I don't know, it just kind of feels so wide. Like, why is it so wide? I don't think Dan would ever wear this. I know that there are probably like cool stylish guys out there who would wear this. I just don't know if every man would. The line drawings look a lot better than how it actually turned out. Maybe it's the stripes that are making it seem out of proportion. It is stretch knits again, so this is all knit. So bamboo, never. cotton knit. For sure, you could do it out of a like mid-weight jersey. Interlock, ITY, jersey, rib knit, vertical stripe knits. I think that there are going to be a lot of guys who follow these suggestions and end up with a flimsy, lightweight, drapey, weird looking shirt. Where's the PK cotton knit? Like, if it's a traditional polo, where's that? Is that considered a cotton knit? Yeah, I don't know. What, do we have finished garment? Yeah, so in the chest, you have 2.5 inches of ease on the high end. So you don't have to make this out of a knit. You just have like a close fitting shirt. Or you can size up and make it out of a woven. I don't know. I don't get it. This is also why I don't spend a lot of time reviewing menswear, because I don't understand. I don't understand it as well as I understand women's wear. Like, I get women's wear fabrics. I get how it's supposed to fit, how it's supposed to look. All of those options seemed super weird to me. But regardless, moving on, look at this. Mrs. Top, shorts, and pants. They're not calling this pajamas. This is an outfit. Oh, okay. Lounge set. All right. Very good. Extra small through 2X, all in one. Stylish lounge set pattern includes top, shorts, and pants. Top has spaghetti straps with a tutorial on spaghetti straps. Ruffles, high-low hem, and bias tape finish at armhole. Tiered balloon pants have ribbon ties. Okay, we're not so sure about the tiered balloon pants, but oh, isn't this art gallery rayon? We recognize this, right? Anyways, you've got actually a really cute top. I have a top similar to this it's like a regular top. This could be a regular top with jeans. It feels a little long through here. It's probably more like these straps are just too long than it is necessarily the arm size too deep. But you've got this little yoke with these little gathers, and then this whole little situation I love. When it's high-low like this, where it's high in the center back and center front, and then low on the sides, it's actually super flattering. You think about whenever people do a French tuck, this is really what they're accomplishing by doing that. Okay, then we have a pull-on pant with a yoke, a gathered leg, I guess, right at the low hip. So not for everybody. But then you have your little short attached. And then this is that same pull-on, but they've moved the gathers lower. So one on your thigh, one on your calf, and then they put, I guess, the ribbon in the hem of the pant, and then you tie it up tighter. You don't have to do that. I think you could probably do it regular. I'm not sure if we need wait, there's not even a ruffle here. It's just on this one side. I don't know. I can't see. We have to look at line drawings. Yep. Get it. Okay, here's the back. Yeah, no adjustable straps. A little bit big through this area and definitely big through here. So either add adjustable straps or make these straps shorter to get this to sit up. It needs to be like right about here. Usually 2 fingers under the armpit. And then this would need to be narrowed or not as long. So shortened. It would need to be shortened. And then there's that little baby hem. Okay, so on the pants, no, there's definitely ruffles all throughout. Okay, well, at least they didn't, cinch up the bottom of the shorts and make it like a bloomer. So they showed some restraint. Oh, but wait. I misspoke because the back is long. It is a traditional high-low, where it's high in the center front and then low in the back. That picture is wrong. This should show the back. And it doesn't. So that's why I was misled. Okay, challis, dotted Swiss, Georgette, voile. Yeah, for sure. All those lightweight drapey fabrics. Dotted Swiss would be a little bit sheer. Georgette might also. But yeah, any of those like silky types. If you're truly wearing it to lounge around, think about breathability. I don't know. I might just copy the front to the back. Just make the front twice. I like the idea of it being high in the front and the back. But that's just me. Okay, single fold bias tape. A package of it. For I'm guessing it's on the underarm seam. 1 3/8 of elastic, and then ribbon. Elastic, and ribbon. Yeah, elastic waist, and then the ribbon to tie off the ankles. Okay, we're not going to get any usable finished garment measurements, but it's a cute little take on pajama loungewear. Definitely kind of stands out from what I've seen them do in the past. Okay, we've got another one of these vests. I think MCCALL'S is the third company to do it this year. Simplicity did it earlier. Who else? Did Vogue do one? Yeah, everybody's doing their version of this little waistcoat. This one also comes with the shorts and the skirt. And it has lines to adjust for petites. So you'll learn how to shorten the length of all of these things as well. Comes in, it is women's and misses. So it's 10 to 18, 20 to 28, 30 to 38. So interesting, because I've been griping about how when you have the misses and women's together in one pattern as one listing, you're really still limiting yourself in sizes. You definitely still are, because we're missing 4, 6, and 8 on the smaller side, and we're missing 20, 22, 24, and 26 on the higher end of misses. So this is really a women's wear pattern, and a few misses sizes thrown in as well. But like this misses would not fit me. And a women's 20 is not the same as a misses 20. So don't be fooled. This is better. This is an improvement. But I also want to see a double misses. You know what I mean? We're so close. So close, MCCALL'S. All right. Fitted top sewing pattern has front patch pockets, back belt with vest buckle. Fitted shorts and skirt have invisible back zipper closure. So we've got, like I said, the little waistcoat. This one just has princess seams, like they said, patch pockets, buttons up the front. It has a pretty little tulip hem and a little short that goes with it. I prefer the short to the skirt like a lot, but it just depends on you and your lifestyle and your personal style. Let's see more. Show me more. Okay. So they have, every time I see this on her hair, I'm like, oh my gosh, she should be like a Tresemme model. So they are using this to cinch it in quite a bit to get this cinched waist look, which I actually don't mind, because if you have any sort of stomach issues, gut health issues, like you get bloated a lot and then it goes away, water weight, all of that, you can adjust it. So I actually don't hate that at all. Guys, I know why that keeps happening, and I'm so sorry. But you do have the princess seams again. Yeah, and then there's the women's one. Same deal. Not having to take hers in quite as much. Hers also feels low. Like, I want to move it up to here. I want to put it at your natural waist. And I know you're probably thinking, like, does this fit? It is probably a little bit too wide here. You could definitely pinch this out. But I think this is one of the things that you don't really want to over tailor. You still want it to be kind of casual. That's why they probably made it out of this brown linen as well. But then you have a slit in the skirt that by all means is like dangerously close to her girly bits. That's a high slit. So pay attention to that. Maybe move it to the side even, you know, for summer. 2 slits, one on each side. We never did see the waistbands, but it looks like they're standard waistbands. Not elastic, I mean. You can use chambray, chino, lightweight denim, and linen blends. Yeah, they're going for structure for sure. Weight is kind of like a mid-weight. So mid-weight, mid-structure little set. 5 buttons, a vest, buckle, an invisible zipper. So depending on what buttons you choose, it could get a little pricey, especially with this vest buckle. That's probably going to put you back a couple bucks. Maybe $10 in all, 15 maybe for notions. And that's a lot to me. That I feel like that's a lot. So, but 1.5 yards for the vest. Up to. Nope. Wait. Up to 2 1/8. Because it goes up to the 38 wide. So up to 2 1/8 for the vest. 1.5 for the shorts. And 2 5/8 for the skirt. So yeah, not the cheapest pattern, but again, you are getting a set. And because it's a short and a skirt, not just a mini skirt and a long skirt, they are actually really different. You would have combination wise 1 and then 2, and then this is a separate as 3, this is a separate as 4, this is a separate as 5. So 5 different outfits. Think about it that way. Think about cost per wear. And I think you get a lot of use out of all of these. All right, next. This is, the new Brandy Joan. Okay. Sizing, we have 4 to 12 and 14 to 22. Yeah, she usually does represent the smaller end of the size range. I don't know if that's because they're just appealing to like a younger person, like a preteen who typically is smaller, or if it's because she's small. I don't know. Ballerina mini dress pattern has halter neckline, gathered skirt, invisible zipper closure, and narrow hem with the sew along. Ballerina, what does that even mean? I'm not sure, but we've got the wide set halter where the straps come way, way, way out over here. And then it's straight across the top. Princess seams, maybe boning, we'll have to see. And then it comes down to a little point here with a gathered skirt that is scarily short. You do you, girl, but this part is annoying me. Right? Like, it's not fitting right. It's doing the same thing over here. You just can't really see it because of her hair. It does feel like that's boning. Like, you can see it, which I also don't love. And they're either pockets or she's putting her hands behind her back. I can't tell. And then an invisible zipper in the back. The bodice feels like it's scrunching. It's too long. This is just tied in a tie. Like, the finishing here is weird. I don't know. This feels like... Maybe I'm just pointing out construction things that we would do differently if we were going to make it, so it doesn't really matter. But the fit on the straps is definitely funky. That's something that I would look into for sure. And the length of the back bodice as well. Depending on how curvy you are at your waist, like if your waistline is a lot smaller than your high hip, you could have issues with a drop waist like this. Where that little, what am I trying to say? This point here would need to be a little bit higher on you. I think that's what's happening here. Oh, and you can also see this gaping pretty good right here. Okay. The design is cute. Like, this looks really cute. I think the execution is just off in more areas than I'm comfortable with. Cotton blends, crepe, sateen, and satin. Cotton blends, crepe. Sateen for sure. satin, I don't know, that feels too lightweight. I think we want something a lot more structured. I mean, look at this skirt. It's definitely poofing out. Plus, you need the structure if you're going to do the boning. So I would go way different than these. Maybe cotton blends would work if it were like mostly a cotton blend. If it were like a twill, I guess. But something pretty structured, I think you would really need to support this whole thing. Wait a minute. It only says there's an invisible zipper. No boning. Am I losing my mind? Or, like, what is that? She doesn't have, like, cardboard in her... Like, she wouldn't slip a piece of... There's something in there. I don't know what it is, but there's definitely something in there. Right? Because that is, like... Now the whole thing is kind of looking super flat. I don't know what's happening now. Is she not... Are you a robot? Are you not real, Brandy? Show yourself. Because something is happening here. And if it's not boning, I don't know what it is. Boning on this is not a terrible idea. Just FYI. It's super easy to add to any vertical seams. So consider that. Honestly, if she had the boning in the back, it might actually support the length there. You can also put it in the side seams. I don't know, look up corsets that look like this and maybe make yours based off of those kinds of construction details. All right, in the bust we've got 2 inches of ease. Yeah, okay. In the waist we've got 1.5. Yeah, that totally makes sense. All right. So, a few tweaks there, but it could be good. Now we have, oh gosh, a skirt in 2 lengths. A pleated cargo skirt, 8 to 16, 16 to 24. Again, this feels like a fall pattern. Like, are these leftovers from last fall? Pleated skirt sewing patterns sit below waist, have length variations, invisible back zipper. Views B and C are belted, have cargo pockets with flaps and gusset. Yeah, here's the plain pleated one. Or you can add this 3D gusseted pocket, which is... It's a cool skirt, don't get me wrong. It is a super cool skirt. I love the super wide self fabric belt. And I don't mind these as little... saddlebags, literal saddlebags on the sides of your hips. I don't mind it. There's the longer one. That's giving gun, what's it called? Gun something style? Gun, not gun metal, gun ginny, gun something like that. It's like a whole genre of fashion. But how they styled it with her little loafers here, this is a pretty cute outfit. Here's the back. Okay. So we've got our invisible zipper that turns into a pleat. I have thoughts about that. Especially as someone who has a fuller bubble butt. Not sure that I want that right in my crotch. Right in between my cheeks. I don't know. I probably would eliminate that one. But how these wrap around to the side is pretty cool. These pleats aren't sewed down until like the lower part of the belt. So that's cool. The belt isn't actually holding the pleats down. They're being sewn down. I like that. Okay. Flannel. See? Flannel in summer? Lightweight denim, twill, and wool blends. This is so out of place. I don't understand why this is showing up in a summer collection. Still cute, but I'm not thinking about these fabrics right now. If you wanted to make this for summer, for sure denim, twill would be your best bet. An invisible zipper, and then all the stuff to make your belt. And then they give us the hip measurement, which they're trying to tell me is 2 inches. No, that's also not right. And also we want the waist measurement, not the hip measurement. Strange. What else do we have going? What's next? Am I just like, did I enter some like back end of the website that, okay, we're skipping the swans, but if you ever wanted to make fabric swans, here you go. Here's another little like schoolgirl type of pattern. The plaid again is giving fall. This is a drop waist dress pattern, front button with sleeve and length variations. It also has collar, collar band, pleats, and invisible side closure, invisible side zipper closure. Raven did the sew along, and 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. Let me see something. Oh, let me see. New tab. I want to see when this pattern was when the video was released. 2 weeks ago. Huh. So it is a new pattern. Interesting. All right. Well, let's take a look. So cute little like schoolgirl vibes. Taylor Swift was wearing stuff like this all last fall. We do have long waist darts coming up from the skirt here, and also horizontal bust darts. These do feel a little bit high for her, but we've got the grown on sleeve, so it's super easy to sew. And you've got your 2-piece collar stand. So this is the tricky part of this. If you've never done that before, this would actually be a great pattern to try it, because you don't have to also worry about set-in sleeves or anything else funky. And then you've got the pleats. It is cute. There it is in white for some reason. Yellow. Okay. Yeah. Again, the drop waists are really hard to get the length to cooperate, because your butt is always going to want to push up this seam. Like always. Also, it feels very tight through here, which is why I think we're getting this. Or maybe it's too long up here. Maybe the tightness through here is why we're getting all of these. Super tight though, right? This one maybe pointing right to it. So maybe double check the back width measurement. Cotton blends, gingham, linen, and shirting fabrics. All right, yeah, those feel a little more summery. It's still a long sleeve though, which, who's doing that? But I guess it's nice to have the option. Invisible zipper for that side zip closure. Which, do you really need that if you've got the buttons up the front? 12 buttons. Bias tape for the armhole opening. 4 inches of ease in that bust. I don't think there's 4 inches in the back, that's for sure. No, there's not 4 inches here. So, my bad. So, maybe 2? Maybe size down 1? And then in the waist, they're giving 4 inches. There probably is 4 inches in the waist. So, maybe base it off of your waist and then size down in the bust. Or maybe if you have a fuller bust, you need those extra inches. But I think 4 is a lot for like your actual size. Okay, now we've got this Mrs. dress with sleeve and length variations, 8 to 16, 18 to 26. Fitted dress sewing pattern, front and back stitch details. View A has drop shoulders, short cap sleeves, V neckline. Views B and C have thin straps and sweetheart neckline. View C has optional shank buttons. Oh, terrible sample. But I do like this pattern quite a bit. They have positioned this as kind of like a dressy situation, obviously. I would have made this version. I probably will make that version. This is giving like, you've got the under bust seam, and then all of these seams here. It's giving like modified corset, and then it opens up into this pretty A-line. For whatever reason, I can also see you converting this into a romper by adding, you know, the crotch curve and all of that to the center front and center back of the skirt. I like this. And you do have all these separate panels, so I bet it's not even a ton of fabric. Grown on sleeve. This is super easy to sew. Cutie pie. The fit looks immaculate on her. Let's learn more. Cotton blends, denim, linen, twill. Yeah, something structured. But I think you could also, for like this version, definitely go into like lighter weight but structured still. So think like gauze. I don't know how gauze would stand up to the top stitching, but you could definitely forego the top stitching and just sew up the seams. And then the princess seams. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you have to go as heavy as some of these. But you can, which is also interesting. Okay. 22-inch zipper, single fold bias tape. Again, I think that's for the... Wait, that also might be for the neckline. For the neckline, though, I would just... Especially if you're making it out of something not super structured, just make a lining for this bodice piece. Right? And then you don't even have to hem these. You could do, what's it called? Burrito. But it would be a cleaner finish too. I don't know about bias binding in that V-neck. Are we sure? We're not sure that that's where we're using it, but I guess. Where else? For view A only. So it has to be the sleeve then. I don't know. Maybe we are lining the cups. I'm not sure. Is there lining fabric? No. No lining fabric. I don't know how they're finishing the necklines. Okay. What else can we glean from this? Dress A is like 1 5/8 yard of fabric for the biggest size. Dress B, the spaghetti strap one, is 1.5. And then the long one is 2 5/8. So not even that much more for a midi length version. Again, they're saying 4 inches of ease in the bust. There's just no way, guys. There's just no way. I just don't see it, especially if you look in the back. Where did the back go? There's not 4 inches of ease there. I don't care how you look at it. Again, probably you're aiming for somewhere around 2. Oh, A's bust is bigger. These are 3 inches of ease. Still a little too much. Still, I'd be aiming for 2. The waist has 3.5. That seems fair. And then the hip is very wide. So I like this one too. Do I have anything like this? Okay, we'll add it. And then we'll see. We have some accessories. Feel free to take a look at that on your own. Now we have this skirt. Mrs. Skirt in 2 lengths, a bubble skirt. 6 to 14, 16 to 24. I'm pretty sure this is Raven again. Yeah, I remember her making this. Lined, flared skirt sewing pattern, sits at natural waist, has bubble gathered hem, length variations, and visible side zip closure. View C has bias drape detail. Very 80s. It reminds me, do you know the movie She's Out of Control? The one when she comes down the stairs after getting her massive makeover. This is the skirt she's wearing. She might be wearing it in eyelet, but this is the skirt she's wearing. I love that movie. So obsessed. This version here, C, with like the ruching kind of, like more like a cummerbund. That's interesting. How long are B and C though? Like, where does that end? Do you know what I mean? Like, how long does it go? The fit looks really good on her. This is probably because she's kind of turned. And these bubble hems are not hard to sew, like at all. Way, way easier than you're picturing. I want to see if no, they don't put them side by side. But this looks to be, like if this is below your knee maybe? I don't know how I feel about a below the knee bubble skirt. Maybe. I don't know. I'm having a hard time picturing it, but maybe. Chambray, linen blends, poplin, taffeta, for sure, but also cotton blends, maybe a shirting, like something structured because you need to hold up to the bubble. But it doesn't have to be heavyweight at all. And then all you need is invisible zipper. Fabric wise, these things are 2 yards for A, 5 for B, and 5.5 for C. Whoa. Well, it's a good thing that fabrics are cheap. Like poplin's cheap, chambray is cheap, shirting is super cheap. Because my gosh, 5 yards for these skirts is a lot. The waist is 1 inch of ease. That makes sense. Yeah. Cute though. Cute, cute, cute. What kind of shoes do they have her in? A little sandal. Super cute. All right. We've got a baby. She's cute. Seriously, the headbands? Oh, and the romper and the dress. Okay. Now we've got this girly pop, misses and women's in one. What are the sizes? Okay, same as before. So really a women's wear pattern, and they threw in some misses sizes as well. Empire waist pattern has close fitting through bust and sweetheart neckline, double bow front, lined bodice, narrow straps, full skirt, has side front pockets, no side seams, invisible back zipper, and unlined skirt. So yeah, it's that other dress with some bows on it. Spaghetti strap, sweetheart, empire waist dress. Very, very basic. And then you throw on some bows and call it a day. A is contrast. Yeah, I mean, it is cute. Again, I love like a baby doll situation. That, I mean, I guess. Floor length version, I guess. Maybe it's these bows that are throwing me off. Like, why is it so... Someone didn't come in and zhuzh the bows properly. You know? Like, it's almost like they're too long and too narrow. Anyways, that's such a small detail. Like, they don't look like that. Right? They don't look like that at all. Hers look better. So, I don't know what's going on with the women's bows, but they're different. There's the back. Super cute. There's the back. Maybe it's this fabric that's odd. Like, it's an odd choice for gathers, right? You can tell it's struggling to do the gathers. What fabrics are they asking for? Fail, Mikado, sateen, and taffeta. So they are asking for really crispy, structured, literal no drape fabrics. Yeah, I think that is necessary to achieve this skirt. I just think that, what do I think? You just have to be careful because where's the back of the white one? Hers is still doing it, not as bad as the green one. The green one, maybe it just wasn't sewn. Well, yeah, it does look like more tucks than gathers, right? So maybe it's more about the construction than it is the fabric. Maybe also this is one of those patterns where annoyingly so, but you have to do like the 3 rows of gathering, not just 1 or 2. So if they were trying to cut corners and skip steps, maybe that's why the green one looks so chaotic with the gathers. But I also think you could go a little bit drapier. You could do, like a sateen's going to have a little bit more drape than a taffeta. So you could live in this sateen land. You could do like mostly cotton with a little bit of rayon maybe. Or even 100% cotton. Like it's going to be crispy but have a little bit of drape to it just based on the way it's woven. Okay, so no finished garment measurements. And then how expensive is this? 2 to 4 yards depending on the length. And then notions wise, you just need a zipper. So not super expensive. Cute for a prom. Have proms happened yet? But you probably already have this base and you just need to sew on some bows. You don't probably have it. You might have it, depending on your personal style. But the design is not, super revolutionary. Okay, another 1970s pattern. This is a jumper and jumpsuit. 4 to 12, 14 to 22. Dress or jumper and jumpsuit have shoulder straps buttoned under, band in back, upper front opening with ties, elastic in waistline casing. Oh, wait. Oh, this is cute. This is open. And you just tie it together. Risque. Then this feels like what is it called? I don't know, a band. Then your straps crisscross and they button underneath here, which would be hard to do on your own. Maybe you just sew them down. And then you have an elastic casing for the waist. Not my favorite, but super easy to execute. Then we have the wide skirt, 2 lengths, the shorty shorts, and the long wide leg pant. How wide? Yeah, wait, that's the pant? Yeah. It's okay wide, not the widest I've seen. Obviously, you can make it wider. Cotton blends, cotton broadcloth, lightweight denim, lightweight duck. You don't see that very often. Lightweight seersucker, and PK. Dress, ABC. So everything but the shorts. It could be synthetic crepe, synthetic jersey. Why can't you make the shorts out of that stuff? Interesting. C, suitable for lengthwise stripes. Okay. Also in D, a knitted terry. Shut up, a little knitted terry. That's a cute idea. 2 buttons, elastic, a package of single fold bias tape, optional seam binding or stretch lace. Those are just like older construction methods. 3 yards for A, 2 3/4 for B, 3 5/8 for C, and 2 for D. And you have that stupid belt included. You don't even probably need that. Okay. I don't hate it. I love this idea of it being open here. You also probably just pull it on, which is also very easy. Yeah, that one's cute. All right, this is going to be an apron, so we're not going to cover that. Here we've got a Mrs. shirt in 2 lengths. Sizes 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. Fitted collar shirt. Sewing patterns have hem variations, front button opening, long barrel sleeves, princess seams, back darts. Again, kind of feels like a fall pattern. I'm not wearing this in the summer, that's for sure. But we've got the princess seams, the drop shoulders, the 2-piece sleeves with the darts, 2 darts. But the darts are on the top. Normally they're here. But wait, there's already something happening here. Interesting. The sleeves on this are really cool. For like is it collared? Yeah. It's an interesting collared shirt, that's for sure. This one also has like the little tuxedo points. Not my favorite, but okay. This one's more of like a tunic with the slits. This is cool. Like if you need a button-down shirt, you know me, I like basics with a twist, and this is definitely that. Like at first look, you just think, oh, okay, you know, kind of statement, lantern sleeve, whatever. But the way it's constructed and all those seams, A, looks cool, and B, I bet is so fun to sew. Yeah, look at that. Cotton blends linen, poplin, and shirting fabrics. 1,000%. And shirt A, which is the shorter one, 2 yards. Same for B, same for C. 2 yards. It's kind of a lot, but not a ton. You do just need those basic like shirt buttons. And then they're giving you 3 inches of ease in the bust. That makes sense. And 3.5 in the waist. Yeah, for sure. Huh, that one's very interesting to me. Okay, here is a cutie little girls pattern, but we're going to skip the girls. Here we've got, gosh, this was like, remember the store BB? or cachet. Oh my gosh. They sold these there for sure. 8 to 16, 18 to 26, vest style halter top pattern in 2 lengths, has gathered cross neck and front button opening. Views B and C have front flaps. So they're kind of trying to make it like a vest with flare. So see how from here down it kind of looks like a vest or a blazer or something, but then up here it wraps around. Very interesting for like the minimalist girly, but you still want it to be interesting. Like you could make this out of like a neutral, or you could definitely add rhinestone buttons and take it up a notch also. But yeah, I can see, I don't love it with these white pants, but I can see this kind of structured, tailored, but also very different and interesting. I can see this on people. Like I can see, if I went to Target and saw somebody in that, I would not be like, what's wrong with you? I'd probably be like, you are important and classy, but also cool. Cotton blends, crepe, lightweight suiting fabrics, linen, shirtings again. Maybe even a chambray if you want to make it really casual. That could be really cute. How much? Yeah, 1 5/8 yardage for A, the short one. Interesting. 2.5 yards of ease in the bust and 3 in the waist. Again, that makes perfect sense. The fit, I don't see any fit issues with it. Like normally you might expect to see something here, but I think it looks really good. Where was the back? Yeah, the back looks excellent. So yeah, that one's super interesting. Not my style, but I wouldn't be mad if any of y'all made it. Okay, that's the end. Wow. Okay, tons of new patterns, tons of like interesting, maybe out of season ones. Covered the basics, also some new interesting styles and designs. You saw the ones that I added to my cart already. I will reevaluate that. Maybe I'll add some more. I still really love the idea of this one. And yeah, some really cute options. Let me know what you guys think of this collection in the comment section below. Otherwise, that's going to do it for me today, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!